devil you know, the final chapter. Today will be a nursery rhyme compared to what I will do to you. What I did to your wife will be a peck on the cheek compared to what's in store for her. She will be gang raped by demons every day, on the hour, every hour, and I will make you watch. This is my world now, Kyle. There will be no happy ending. Now get up. He held Kyle firmly by the neck and escorted him into the bedroom. He stuck the shotgun in his hand. Kyle's fear was snapping him out of his trance. He struggled, but the milkman's grasp was strength unlimited. He would not let Kyle let go of the shotgun. They stepped towards Helen, curled up on the floor, and the milkman forced Kyle's hand to point the shotgun at her head. Helen's eyes opened, and she started sniffling in fear. Blow her head off now, Kyle. I'm ordering you. Your soul belongs to me now. Kyle snapped out of it. Fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking demon from hell. My soul is mine, and mine alone. The milkman whispered in his ear again. I've raped countless women in my day, Kyle. Let me tell you, I never felt a woman get off on it so much as this one. You are the Prince of Lies. You always have been. Not this time, Kyle. She came like a fucking volcano all over my throbbing cock. Fucking Mount St. Helens, Kyle. Mount St. Helens. Fuck you. I will never worship you. Never. Do it now, Kyle. Blow her fucking head off. You have no choice. I've given you no choice. Helen whimpered beneath her crimson mask and managed to speak to Kyle. Kyle, you always have a choice. Kyle felt the milkman tried to lower his finger over Kyle's and squeeze the trigger. Now I want you to squeeze, Kyle. Just squeeze. It was a calm and sunny day in the town of Garnell. Blue skies and white picket fences. Another lazy, hazy summer day. The elderly sat on their porches and gossiped. The sound of children playing off in the distance. Even an ice cream truck down the street. And if you had listened hard enough, you could have heard the shotgun blast. Reverend Colton had his eyes closed in the confessional booth. He had the most overwhelming sense of dread and terror, like his mind had been turned upside down and the outside world was following suit. He prayed for serenity. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. The sound sent a shiver down his spine. He had heard that noise before. He knew whose oncoming footsteps those were. Blam! Something heavy landed on the door outside his confessional. The opposite door slowly creaked open, and he heard something step inside. Now, where were we, Padre? Reverend Colton began banging against the confessional door, but it would not budge. He rammed it with his shoulder, as hard as he could. The door began to splinter, but still would not open. Yeah, I wouldn't bother. It's wedged shut. You're not going anywhere, Reverend. Help! Someone help me, please. Why don't you try praying? I hear that helps. Yeah, you're right. Totally useless. I've got a better idea. Reverend stopped pounding when he saw it was pointless. He listened with fright to the devilish voice. Why don't we start by you confessing to me your sins, motherfucker? The light was blinding, like an oncoming train, but not threatening. A pure white crystal light, as bright as an oncoming star. That's it, Kyle. Run into the light. Run into the light, Kyle. Am I alive? Is this heaven? The spotlight was lifted off him, and Kyle was welcomed back to reality. No, dipshit, you are at a Carnal police station. Now stop falling the fuck asleep. Kyle lifted his head, groggy and delirious. His face was pounding, still swollen from the interrogator's fist. His eyes had swollen shut, and blood was trickling from his lip. The room smelled of cigarettes and bad coffee. He couldn't make out the faces of the interrogators, just a wall of silhouettes, occasionally lit up by the cigs. His arms were killing him in their contorted position behind his back. The handcuffs were tightened to the bone. Now let's go through this one more time, Cal. You say you arrived home. The house was in shambles, and there was a milkman sitting at your kitchen table. You say he convinced you that he was the devil and that God was dead. That he tried to force you to murder your wife after he had raped her because he wanted you to worship him instead. Do I have that correct, Kyle? Am I missing anything? Yes. Yes, that's what happened. Right, of course. The devil made you do it. Yes, never heard that one before. Oldest story in the book. We really should apprehend that devil fellow. Got a description, goatee and a pitchfork. Do you honestly expect me to believe this steaming pile of horseshit, Kyle? Another voice echoed out at Kyle from the darkness. Kyle, we found your semen all over your wife. We found your fingerprints on the shotgun. You're looking at the death penalty, Kyle. Nobody's going to buy the insanity defense. You're going to be just another horror story on the local TV news. Kyle started crying to himself. It's what happened. This is what happened, I swear. The interrogator swung the overhead lamp on Kyle's, sobbing. The local milkman did it, right, Kyle? The devil did it, of course. Of course he did. Kyle had heard his voice before. He could manage just a whisper. Yes. Would you care for a drink, Kyle? Perhaps a glass of milk? Kyle said nothing. It was who he feared it was. The overhead light swung back and cast a brief light on the Inquisitor. His tight smile was all too familiar. Well, Kyle, he lit another cigarette. Better the devil you know than the one you don't. You see, Kyle had the devil in his life all along. He just didn't know who he was. Perhaps the devil's in your life, but you're not aware of who he is. Perhaps he's even been reading this story to you all along.